Walking in here today, it reminded me of the days, well, the day I went to work here in 1944. I still can hear the Boilermakers and all the machinery running, as quiet as it is in here now and as silent as it is. The old building certainly doesn't look the same, but it brings back a lot of memories. I was discharged from the Navy. I went to work for the railroad. Of course, my daddy was shop superintendent, and I started serving my apprenticeship as a machinist because that was a trade, you know. There were no diesels then. And I worked as an apprentice for 4 years and earned my diploma as a machinist. In 1948, I went on a machinist job and worked there in the shop, running different machines and working on the floor side in erecting parts for the locomotives. Then in 1949, they made us younger fellas a proposition that if we wanted to transfer to the electrical department, that they would allow us a year on another apprenticeship and become an electrician. So I jumped at it, and that's what I did. I worked as an apprentice for 3 years, got my diploma as an electrician, and that's where I stayed until I retired in 1989 as a diesel electrician. And I saw the steam engines phase out, and I saw the new diesels come in. And it was, I lived in both worlds, the steam and the diesel. And I wouldn't took for it. It was really an experience. See, all railroads had back shops, and that's what they done was to overhaul and repair steam locomotives. And it was quite an operation. I remember the first time I was in the shop as just a young kid, and they had that engine, one of those steam engines up in the air, and I just stood there and watched it for, I don't know how long, but it was a sight to see. But as the diesels came along, they found out that they didn't need near the shop facilities that the steam required, and eventually that's what happened to our back shop here in Waco, that they just finally phased it out and we moved out. I have a photo album that my father put together back in 1944 of a steam engine that was in a head-on collision in South Texas. It was number 408. And that engine was brought into Waco and repaired, overhauled in 1944. The pictures reveal progressive rebuilding of this engine from day to day, showing the various repairs while in Warden Shop and being made ready for the return to active service December the 16th, 1944. There you see the front end of the 408 before it went into the shop, the damage that it had done. Here they are, a picture that was taken of the two engines that were together that caused the damage near Bastrop, and some more of the damage to the 408. And these next pictures show this series of procedures and work that was done on the engine. Here you see the mainframe of the 408. Another picture of the mainframe. These pieces had to be welded together. Now here's part of the boiler that's being made. You can see what an operation that was with the machinery that it took to make the boiler. Now here you see different areas of workers working on the steam engine. Machinists, lathe work, pipe fitters doing jacket work. There's the inside of part of the boiler where the flues go, flue sheet. And now they have the boiler together, sitting next to the frame where the frame had been welded. Here's a better picture of it, of the 408 and the frame. Now here's a picture for the welders welding the main frame on the 408 before they set the boiler on. This is an area in the blacksmith shop where this big steam hammer was forming out a part for that locomotive. This is another picture of the frame in the Bay Area where the 408 was. Of course, next to it is a yard engine that's been under repair, the 27. Here you see a boilermaker and his helper driving rivets in the boiler of the 408. And another picture of the main frame and the cylinders of that steam engine. In this photo you see part of the firebox, one of the main driving wheels, and another part of the frame. This was before the boiler was set on the frame naturally. And this is the area of the tank shop where the tank was being repaired that held the water and oil for the 408.